What's good, homies? Welcome back to another episode in our West Tigers rebuild series. We're in the 21st round of the Premiership, and before we get into the game, we do have a couple of changes. The first will be in the back line with Maya Fanua coming back into the squad, filling in for Kevin Naingama, who will be out for 1 week due to suspension. We also have Chris Lawrence returning from suspension himself. He'll be back on the bench in the number 14 jersey. He'll be taking the place of Jacob Little. I was going to keep Little on the bench for a replacement for McCurrick when he gets tired, but I feel like having an extra back rower is way more effective. Alright, so in round 21 right now, getting ready to take on the Bulldogs at Leichhardt Oval. Welcoming back an ex-Tiger and the now captain of the Bulldogs, Aaron Woods. As you can see here, he was an absolute gun for us in the first season. He led the pack for most meters gained, most line breaks, and most tackle busts. As we look at their lineup here, and as you can see, it's obviously the 2018 lineup, but it looks like they still have a departing player in Sam Cassiano. They do, however, have a pretty gun player on the bench in Tyrone Roberts. As for their position on the ladder, sitting at 14th on 18 points, you'd think their chances of making finals is over, but if they string together a few wins, they could barely make the 8. But it's looking highly unlikely as they're coming into this game riding a 3-game losing streak. As we jump into the first bit of action here, 8 minutes into the game, it's going to be Elijah Taylor with the line break. Big run here as he fends off one defender, runs through an ankle tap, and is finally pulled down inside halfway. Back with McCurrick as we almost throw a forward pass, but we change our direction, run back to the left side, and the tackle ends with Josh Reynolds, just past halfway this time. Third tackle as we put something together in attack, utilizing the overlap, and it's going to be Nofor Luma, who finally gets pulled down outside the 30. Back on the last here, 20 out, we send it to Josh Reynolds. He puts up the bomb for Daniel Tupou, racing onto it, makes the catch and scores our first try of the game. As we take another look here on the replay at the handiwork of Josh Reynolds and Daniel Tupou himself, as he soars through the air, gets above Josh Morris, or it might be Brett Morris actually, makes the catch and grounds the ball. Back off Tui for the easy conversion, and as you'd expect, he adds the extras, gets us up to a 6-point lead, and it's been a pretty picture-perfect start so far. Our attack leading up to the try was pretty decent. As we jump back into the action, and want to get wrapped up on the 20, and right from dummy half, we throw a forward pass with McCurrick. Not too sure about that, it looked okay to me, but it's going to be the Bulldogs' feed anyway, as they send it to Hopewadi, who gets around one, shrugs off another defender, and he's going to get pulled down right before the line, but momentum carries him over, and he's going to score the Bulldogs' first try of the game. As we take another look at Hopper's try here, just a simple cutout ball off the ruck, gets around Lolo Hare, gets out of Tupou's tackle, and he slides over the line with Josh Reynolds. Just a little bit of individual brilliance by the Tongan international, as Mbai lines up the kick. I'm actually recording this the day after the grand final, actually 2 days, so yes, I saw the game, and as much as I would have liked to see the Cowboys come out with the victory, the game kind of played out how I thought it would. Melbourne were just too classy in the end. Now when I say classy, I use that term very loosely, because I'm not a fan of their defensive tactics, but you have to give credit where it's due, and all credit to the Storm, I guess. They dominated the competition, and in the end, they made it look easy against the Cowboys. As we get awarded a penalty here, and we're on the attack inside their 10, trying to put something together in attack, but we get shut down. As we look to send it to the left here, we go to Reynolds, outside inside, well read by the defense once again. Fourth tackle, still inside the 10. As we pass to Reynolds, looking to thread the needle, playing at a repeat set, and we barely get the repeat set. The ball didn't go anywhere near as far as I wanted it to, but luckily Reynolds was there to pretty much manhandle Mbai back in goal. On the second here, so we look for an inside ball, and it's well read once again by the Bulldogs. Dan Tupou gets driven backwards in the tackle. We're going to shift it to the left once again, as we go to Idris, and he's going to get pulled down just outside the 10. On the fourth, we have a big overlap to the left, but we choose to pop a chip over the top with no one at the back, and we're going to score our second try of the game. A beautiful chip kick by Josh Reynolds. Looking at the replay here, I wanted to get Josh Reynolds involved in this match as much as possible, obviously playing against his former club, and he ends up scoring a pretty decent try as well. It was a perfectly weighted kick into the end goal. Those chips that close to the line are kind of risky to do because you don't have control over the power, and in Rugby League Live 4's case, you don't have control of the angle as well, as I've said in countless videos before. But that's half time, and we're going to head into the break with a 6-point lead. Alright, as we take a quick look at the stats here. As usual, there's been a few errors from both teams, which results in our completes being pretty terrible. We also had most of the ball in that half. Alright, so jumping back into the second half, literally a minute in, as Soaso Su, the replacement prop, goes on a nice run downfield. He's going to get wrapped up just inside our 40. As we send it to Grant this time, but he gets double teamed and driven backwards. As we drop into the pocket on the third, but we end up sending it to the other side to Josh Reynolds, and he's going to shoot for the corner and gets the beautiful 40-20. Josh Reynolds on fire at the moment. As he gets it off the tap, sends it to Aloye, and he's going to get tackled and forced backwards back behind the 10. On the first here, we go to Reynolds, he goes to Su, and it's another good tackle in defense by the Bulldogs as they drive him backwards. On the second, we're going to send it to the blind side, and it's going to be Aloye who takes it to the line, draws in defenders, and he puts Nofuolumo away down the touchline. Another fairly simple try, and how effective has our bench been this season? Aloye, Soaso Su, Tim Grant, all these players that come off the bench, they've been super impactful for us, which is what you want out of your bench. As we line up the kick once again of Lolo here, this time from a fairly difficult angle. We take the shot 5 in from the sideline, and it's a beautiful kick as we extend our lead to 12. Alright, so we're almost 10 minutes in, with the Bulldogs on the return, as Hopoate gets around 1, and he's going to get pulled down inside their 40. On the first, they go wide to Jackson, who gets double teamed just inside halfway. They go back to the right to Foreign, beautiful inside ball, but it's well read as Eastwood tries to eat a few more meters before getting grounded. Third tackle, they go to Foreign with the switch of play, then an inside ball to Hopoate who gets around 1, and he's going to get around Tupou at the back. Man, I hate when that happens, when you sprint towards the attacker. I was pretty much in no man's land there. Poor defense, I guess, from the back, as Hopper crosses for a second try of the game. It was actually a pretty slick play by the AI. Foreign to Cassiano. Cassiano drew in 2 defenders before passing back inside to Hopper, put him one-on-one with Tim Grant, and then right after getting around Grant, it was a hard step to the right that pretty much had us beat at the back. It was very subtle, but if you take a closer look, you'll definitely notice the little direction change, as Mbai gets them up to 12 points, and the Bulldogs are right back in it here. 55 minutes in, back of the return from Sully, and he's going to get pulled down on our 20. On the first here, as we send it to Tupou, slices through the line, fends off 1 defender, and we're going to get pulled down eventually past halfway. On the second here, approaching the 60th minute, as we dummy inside to Su and put Fanua through the gap, he's going to get pulled down on the 30. Great ball playing there by Reynolds. Back on the third, we send it to Aloye, and he's going to get pulled down. Just outside their 20 here. We try and put up a kick here, but it gets ricocheted off a Bulldogs player, and it's going to be Soaso Su who gets wrapped up inside their 20. Fifth and last, still a pretty long way out, but we do throw up the bomb again, looking for Dan Tupou, and it's going to get diffused by Brett Morris. Once again, it was some pretty decent attacking, but we just couldn't put anything together on the last tackle. As we put up a bomb here on the last again, another bomb, this time it's Hopper under it, who makes the catch, gets around Tupou, who is our last line of defense, fullback on fullback. The last ditch dive from McCurrick slows him down, but there's no backs there to wrap him up. Nothing but back rowers and front rowers. That's Hopper's 3rd try of the game, as Mbai converts it from right in front, and he's going to tie the game up as we approach the final 10 minutes of the match. Alright, so we're actually 6 minutes away from full time, tied at 18 apiece, and it's going to be the Bulldogs here throwing the ball around. Aaron Woods gets wrapped up just outside our 40. They get a quick play of the ball as they send it wide to Fuilalo, and he's going to get pulled down 35 meters out. as we compress our defense, a couple of players offside, and a reckless inside ball gets intercepted by McCurrick. He pops a terrible pass to Fanua, scoops it up from the bootlaces, and we're going to race away here for the final try of the game, and it's our replacement centre filling in for Naingama, Mahe Fanua, and that likeness looks nothing like him, but that doesn't matter. We scored a match-winning try regardless, as we take another look at what actually happened here. Now I do remember 2 players being offside, and I'm not sure if McCurrick was one of them, but we get the interception. Great hands by Fanua to reel it in. First of all was a great drawing pass by McCurrick, who actually drew in Hopoati. And yeah, we race away for the final try of the game. Back of Lolo here to take the kick, who's 3 from 3, and he's going to be perfect off the boot. It may feel like Tui has been somewhat forgotten in the centres, but he's been just as important for us with his goal kicks this season as he was last year playing in the halves and at fullback. As the fat lady sings, and that's going to wrap up all the action here at Leichhardt Oval. We defeat the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs 24 points to 18. A few of our players had blinders, but the AI gave the man of the match to Will Hopoati, who actually scored a hat-trick. As I show you guys the individual player stats, as always, drop that like button for more Rugby League Live 4 content. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you later.
I could get you more, a little more, whatever you need, what you need. I could get you more, a little more.